All right, Wike, the political undertaker. Body George calls him an agent provocateur as Wike prepares to install an APC governor from inside the PDP. The friction in the PDP has reached a boiling point today. PDP shifting Body George has officially labeled FCT Minister Nyesom Wike a political undertaker, accusing him of acting as an agent to destabilize the country. The trigger, Wike's open support for an APC candidate in the River State House of Assembly primaries, as we reported last week, despite still claiming to be a PDP member. While the APC has cleared 33 aspirants in Port Harcourt today, Wike is essentially running the show from Abuja, leaving Governor Fubara's camp in a defensive crouch. So here's a question. We have a man who is a minister in an APC government, a leader in the PDP, and a kingmaker for 2027. Is Wike the most powerful man in Nigeria today, or is he playing a game that will eventually leave him with no home at all? This is Nigeria. This is Nigeria. Let's hear your thoughts on this one, sir.
Well, Wike is not the most powerful man in Nigeria today. By the Constitution of Nigeria, whatever was originally drafted for the self-preservation, self-perpetuation, and whatever for the man who superintended the entire process originally, that constitution, the late General Sani Abacha, and later the military. You will understand that, why Wike has been able to latch onto the strength of the Nigerian presidency and the might of the federal government. To one know, yeah, he's a mighty man. One will be. He is not the one that is really strong. You pull the rug off Wike's feet. Wike would see himself in the true light that he is nothing other than what Russians call a useful idiot. And there have been so many useful idiots in the body politic in Nigeria over the years. They all came, they had their chance on the stage, like performers or dramatists, and when the time was off, with due respect to the memory of William Shakespeare, the British playwright, it's a matter of asking us as electorates or audience, as the case may be, or what's it called, spectators, if they have performed well, and the verdict of history on somebody like Wike is going to be very harsh. He's been a poor player, he's been a poor actor, and with any stretch of imagination, I can say with some measure of supreme confidence, because I don't want to sound like him, that Wike has been labeled, unfortunately, elder statesman Bode George is just realizing what so many people have realized over the years. Because if Bode George had realized it, he would not have been part of the bandwagon of the so-called 5 governors that Wike orchestrated in 2023 to undermine the presidential hope of the PDP, the opposition PDP. Bode George was an enabler for him. And so this Frankenstein monster, Frankenstein monster that is troubling the Nigerian political landscape, was created by, with due respect, Chief Bode George, a one-star, a 2-star general of the Nigerian Navy, because he retired as commodore. He was one of those who really created this monster that we are dealing with, that is known as Nyesom Wike. You can imagine that Nyesom Wike continues to be in denial and says, and I find this really, really disturbing. the way the media create larger than life individuals and then run to town as if that is what the people want. They were the people that were sold the dummy that Jason Wike is the leader, de facto of the PDP. And until the Supreme Court judgment came about a week or so ago, the CTC now showing that whether it is the iron hand of the PDP or that of the one being led by the other Ibadan people, whom Wike derisively calls Amala Convention, what have you, Zalhatu. The truth of the matter is that they both have been sacked, but in a stroke of ingenuity, the board of trustees came around to save the situation and then put in place a caretaker executive led by the same Dalhatu. That is spiteful to Wike, and he continues to roar and threaten and stroll like a hungry lion in the jungle. And then would say, let me see the signpost anywhere, let me see this and that, and continues to behave like a depraved mind on the political terrain. So, if Bode George is not describing him as a political undertaker, if it's not describing him as agent provocateur, in Nigerian parlance, pidgin parlance, people who ask, not today, is it just realizing this? They all did one or two things to create him, and they have to deal with him. Now to the situation in Rivers State. I do not know, like I said in our past production, I do not know, and you too cannot pretend to know. I'm no Nigerian who was not seated where the truce was negotiated between Wike and Fubara. Nobody will be able to tell the terms and conditions of or the terms of reference in the way the peace arrangement was engineered for the two of them. For all I know, politicians can be very smart, and many of them can be very dubious. Some of them can be very deceptive. I do not know where to place any of these individuals that are now really tearing Rivers State apart. Now, it looks like a majority of the people that are with Fubra are really losing out in the screening process. But let me also tell you, it's just a foretaste of the doom that is to come for the Fubra camp if they do not find a very creative way of responding to Jason Wike, because I suspect that Jason Wike is the man that is power drunk to the extreme, and after he must have engineered the fall of similar Fubra as the governor of Rivers State, he would also want a situation in which Fubra would go to prison. Whatever Jason is orchestrating as a strategy for survival in politics, is not going to stop yet, because he's been escaping everything that he's doing. The way he dished, if Atiku had won in 2023, Wike suspected that he would be in prison. He moved ahead of time swiftly to embrace the APC characters that he had always denounced. And then he got rehabilitation with the victory of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, if Tinubu falls from power, you can see that yes, Wike would warmly gravitate and swing towards whoever is going to be the new leader in Nigeria. And that is almost the trait of most politicians in Nigeria. It's the way for them to escape accountability. The humongous amount of money belonging to the people that is being spending all that has been traced to him everywhere. He pretends to be a person of honor, but there's no honor in him. If somebody could betray his political household the way he has done, you would notice that even in his background, wherever he's coming from, he must have done that to his biological family before. People don't just become old and then started displaying the trait of traitors and betrayal or Judas Iscariot. He's always something they have always worn like an emblem of honor. So it's not going to stop. And the only creative way for FUBRA to handle this is to pretend like, oh, he's giving it all up. They should sponsor elements from other political parties, invest massively to advertise and popularize that emerging force, and then FUBRA will become an authentic godfather, and that new force will be able to put Wike in check. That is the only escape route now, because after this thing or this power play, I can smell the situation in which Wike want to make want to orchestrate the shipping of Governor Simlaya Fubara after power. They want to ship him to prison. It looks so bleak for him, and he has to really get creative and stop being falsely pious, falsely humble. He should let them know that in the song of the man in Ibadan, the Fuji master there, who sang with a laughing, you heal mad, you cure madness with madness. That's the way to go.
We're laughing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, he has to. He has to
madness with madness.
With madness. That is what Simlaya Football should do in this situation. Now it's been seen that Tinubu will not stand up for him. Nobody will stand up. They made him to do everything. They did not just humble him; they humiliated him, as if it's not a man elected into power. One mad individual in the in the open arena, pretending to be stronger than the teeming thousands of people who really gave FUBRA the mandate. Yes, the mandate was orchestrated, was fraudulently bought for him by Wike, but people should look beyond that. The symbolism itself, the consciousness represented by him being the leader, the elected leader of the people of Rivers State. It's so unfortunate that in spite of everything, this is the way they are closing him, they are shutting him down politically. So, Wike is an amorphous character. He is the person you can describe as the reincarnation of the Eshu pantheon in Yoruba land. This man is wearing what Yorubas will call the Alabangada garment. He turns to you, he backs you, he faces you. What you see.
It almost sounds like a Gabagibi.
That is the word. He's an Alagabagebe. Very, very deceptive and hypocritical. He's a chameleon, a man that lacks character. So, if they just calls him political undertaker or agent provocateur, that truly is his personality. Thank you very much.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know. I really do want to know what your thoughts are. I don't want to just be listening to my uncle. I want to hear your thoughts. I see some of your comments, by the way. So keep leaving the comments. But right now, we want to move on to some other trendy stories around the world. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow everywhere. And we'll be right back.